And right after December 27th, this will not be anymore. And this is Erik Pridemore. And this is why we have some sad news to tell you. As you may know, 1 month ago, it was announced that Nightly Business Report will be discontinued by year's end. The series finale and its final broadcast will be expected to air on December 27, 2019, which will officially end the Nightly Business Report's nearly 41-year run on public television. Well, it's a sad happening. You know, from January 22nd, 1979 to March 1st, 2013, the show was produced at WPBT, South Florida PBS Studios in Miami, Florida. And then from March 4th, 2013, all the way to December 27, 2019, CNBC purchased and acquired the program and closed down its Miami operations. Although WPBT South Florida PBS co-produced the program until the November 28th, 2014 program. And then on the December 1st, 2014 broadcast, WETA Washington, D.C. took over the show and continue it until December 27, 2019, which will officially be the series finale, marking the end of an era after a nearly 41-year run on public television. Well, there were a lot of anchors through the years, and here's a lot of articles. You all can excuse me here. Well, as you know, you went through Variety. Well, as the Nightly Business Report ceased production by year's end, according to Variety, here's a little something. Y'all can follow me here. The Nightly Business Report, the PBS program that started in 1979 and became television's longest-running business news broadcast, will be set to cease production by the end of the year, as it were to happen. CNBC, which picked up production of this program of this show in 2013 from WPBT South Florida PBS in Miami and Fort Lauderdale and the Palm Beaches, has decided to end its association with the show. According to the people familiar with the matter, NBR was originally based in Miami and was carried by 183 public television stations in all 50 states, reaching 96% of all households. And according to American Public Television, the series distributor, well, the NBR co-anchors, executive producer, and entire CNBC team have been the strong partners in delivering this trusted business news service, and said Cynthia Fenneman, the president and CEO of American Public Television, in a prepared statement. This is smart television which will be deeply missed. We're all heartbroken to hear the news, folks. There was not CNBC or even its predecessor FNN. In 1979, business news stars like Maria Bartiromo, Becky Quick, and David Faber did not exist. But anchor Paul Kangas, who originally joined as a stock analyst, even eventually helped the show become a valued part of the PBS early evening lineup. He would, in the late 1990s, be joined by Susie Garrett, who had been working at CNBC. Alan Greenspan was later chairman of the Federal Reserve, was a regular commentator in the program's early days? Well, in a world where business news and stock quotes light up ticker boards and can be found on mobile phones with a few finger motions, a nightly wrap of the day's market, news may seem less feasible. A PBS spokesperson could not be reached for an immediate comment on the show's expected departure. Well, CNBC has made a difficult decision to stop producing the nightly business report at the end of the year. The network said in a statement, "We would like to give a special thanks to the loyal viewers and our partners, American Public Television and WETA Washington, D.C., our presenting station, CNBC, treated like an extension of its regular daytime business programming, moving the program to New York and Washington and staffing its longtime anchors like Tyler Matheson and Susie Gareb and later Sue Herrera and Bill Griffith." As many of you know, it's the end of an era. And coming up after a run to the bathroom, we have one more article. Please stand by. Okay. I'm sorry, folks. Sorry we're late. Sorry I had to run to the bathroom, folks. Now, I've returned. And now, just returned from the bathroom. Excuse me here. And now from current.org, here's the article. The Nightly Business Report, television's longest running business news broadcast, will cease production after December 27th. A spokesperson for CNBC, which has produced the nightly newscast since 2013, acknowledged the difficult decision Thursday and thanked presenting station WETA Washington, D.C. and Boston-based distributor American Public Television. A pioneer in business news reporting, the Nightly Business Report premiered in 1979. It is being a carrier by 183 public television stations in all 50 states, reaching 96% of U.S. households, according to American Public Television. The NBR co-anchors, executive producer, and an entire CNBC team have been strong partners in delivering this trusted new business news service, said Cynthia Federman, the president and CEO of American Public Television, in a statement which was released Thursday. This is smart television which will be deeply missed. American Public Television first learned of this decision on November 4th. And she said, "We were just sorry to hear that they made that decision," said an APT spokesperson. "From our perspective, it was a business decision." American Public Television had distributed this show for most of its 40-year run. And by the way, WETA, Washington, D.C., which co-produces Nightly Business Report as a presenting station, by the way, which does specialize in public affairs productions for PBS, which includes the PBS NewsHour and Washington Week, is discussing options with BBC News to fill the Nightly Business Report's time period, according to a station spokesperson. She declined to discuss the details. Wendy Feinberg, who worked in senior editorial roles on the program for 16 years, did say she was disappointed by CNBC's cancellation, but not surprised. When the series did began, it was the only television show to offer a full evaluation of daily events on Wall Street, she said. And you know, it was really one of a kind, as she said, and so much has changed in the ensuing years. There are so many places to get similar material now. And she did leave Nightly Business Report in 2011 after new owners bought the show and laid off half of its staff. The sale set off waves of downsizing, which continued even after CNBC acquired Nightly Business Report in 2013 and shut down its remaining bureaus. The Nightly Business Report did start as a production of WPBT South Florida PBS in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and the Palm Beaches. It was with Linda O'Brien as the news director and Paul Kangas as the anchor. And its first regular commentator was Alan Greenspan, who remained on air until becoming a chairman of the Federal Reserve in 1987. In 2010, a year after Paul Kangas retired, WPBT South Florida PBS sold this show to NBR Worldwide Incorporated, a privately held company which soon after laid off half of its staff. PBS, which had funded and distributed NBR since the early 2000s, cut its funding. The show returned to American Public Television, it's APT by the way, for national distribution in 2011. That same year, the Nightly Business Report was sold to Athalia Capital Management, a private equity firm, and then more layoffs followed in 2012, as well as the closing of the show's Chicago bureau. On March 1st, 2013, CNBC, which is owned by NBC Universal's parent company Comcast, which now produces Nightly Business Report until next week's series finale, a week from coming Friday, did take over production, closing the show's bureaus in New York and Washington and relocating the show to its headquarters in Englewood Cliffs, New Jersey. And under CNBC, the show went through several talent changes. Susie Guerra, who joined Nightly Business Report in 1998 and had co-anchored with Paul Kangas until her departure when she left in 2014. Susie Feinberg did credit CNBC for the maintenance in the quality and standards of the Nightly Business Report brand. She hasn't been disappointed with CNBC's stewardship, she said, and she thinks they really did a good job. Well, American Public Television, or we call APT to be abbreviated there, has fully funded this show through its exchange, a subscription service for public TV stations since CNBC began producing it in 2013. Well, you may want to have a reply. In all comments, you'll see why. After an almost 41-year run, CNBC will end the Nightly Business Report. And what we want to say to you all folks, as Paul Kangas closes his words, wishing you the best of goodbyes, but this is Erik Pridemore wishing you the best of goodbyes, and until we do another post, we say bye-bye for now.
Herrera, thanks for joining us.
We get to the tail end of the theme song.
Have a great evening. See you tomorrow.
And right after the series finale, Nightly Business Report will continue on its YouTube channel. And we'll see you on our next post.